We didn't have a special plan for Yamal. He isn't Ronaldo. With those cold words, Ademola Lookman, the man who just killed Barcelona's Champions League dream, delivered a brutal reality check. To Lookman, Barca's number 10 simply isn't a threat that keeps Atletico awake at night. At the Metropolitano, the script turned into a nightmare for the visitors. Barcelona fought like warriors, winning 2-1 on the night as Yamal pushed his body to the absolute breaking point. But the 2-3 aggregate scoreline shattered their journey. 11 agonizing years, and Barca still can't touch the throne. They crashed against a steel wall, victims of Atletico's ruthless defiance. Watching Atletico suffocate Barca's every move, the world finally remembered what it takes to destroy this system. A decade ago, Simeone conquered giants, but he never found an answer to the enigma named Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo's greatness wasn't just words. It was cold, hard numbers and scars that will never heal on the body of Atletico Madrid. Look at the stats. Under the El Cholo era, only 4 hat tricks have ever pierced this defense in major competitions. Shockingly, every single one of them was delivered by the same man, Ronaldo. He was a glitch in the matrix. His first hat trick in 2012 at the Vicente Calderón was a declaration of war, a 4-1 slaughter where Ronaldo sent a thunderous message with every strike. History repeated itself in 2016. Godin and Savic, then in their prime, were left paralyzed as CR7 dismantled them for a 3-idol masterclass. The Ronaldo Fear began to infect the stands. Fans wrote, "We can stop 11 men, but we cannot stop destiny." Then came the Champions League, where Ronaldo's cruelty turned into eternal agony. Lisbon 2014, a tragedy in 3 acts. Atletico led until the 93rd minute, then Ramos broke them. Ronaldo slammed the final nail into the coffin, and his arrogant celebration became a ghost that haunted millions. Milan 2016, lightning strikes twice. Again, it was Ronaldo stepping up to deliver the fatal blow in the shootout. The climax reached a fever pitch in 2017. Simeone believed he had the perfect fortress. Ronaldo dismantled it with 3 cold-blooded strikes. He transformed world-class defenders into chess pieces in a game where he wrote the rules of God. Atletico's defense, once an unshakable citadel, was crushed by pure, unadulterated power. But the moment that defined his greatness was the night in Turin, 2019. Atletico won 2-0 at home. Simeone celebrated with a ruthless gesture toward the fans. But in the second leg, the world witnessed an impossible resurrection. Header, another header, and the final penalty to complete the 4th hat trick against Simeone. "Ronaldo, what planet are you from?" I screamed on air as Juventus surged forward and Atletico fell in shock. After the battle, Ronaldo hijacked Simeone's own celebration, a brutal statement of absolute dominance. On social media, the Turin night remains a relic of pure awe. One fan said, "Simeone builds steel fortresses, but Ronaldo is the heat that melts any metal." Another wrote, "Ronaldo isn't playing against Atletico. He is punishing them for daring to challenge his authority." Even neutrals admit the gap between a good player and a legend is the power to decide a game when all hope is lost. Why only Ronaldo? Because he is the antidote to Simeone's philosophy. Atletico defends in blocks, paranoid about space. But Ronaldo is the master of the smallest gaps. He doesn't need possession. He just needs one lapse, one leap over giants to seal their fate. His mentality is an anchor. While other stars suffocate under Simeone's pressure, Ronaldo uses their hatred as high-grade fuel for his scoring machine. Look at Barcelona's recent failure. They owned possession, but inside the box, they lacked the lethal blade to finish the job. Yamal is a titan, but at 18, he isn't ruthless enough to survive the butchers yet. For Simeone, Ronaldo is his Achilles heel. Every goal from the Portuguese icon was a sledgehammer to the philosophy El Cholo spent years building. There is a visible helplessness on Simeone's face every time Ronaldo celebrates. It's not a tactical error, it's the pure superiority of a force of nature. Simeone's legacy at Atletico would look vastly different without Ronaldo's presence. Perhaps at least one Champions League trophy would be sitting in their cabinet right now. Those white nights in Lisbon or Milan would have been celebrations instead of funeral silences. The cruelty of this sport is that the perfect collective can be destroyed by the brilliance of a single man. Simeone builds, Ronaldo destroys. Simeone hopes, Ronaldo extinguishes. It's a cycle of fate that defined the last decade. Barca's defeat is a reminder. When tactics fail and the game hits a deadlock, greatness must speak. Lamine Yamal might be a legend tomorrow, but today he is still drowning in the shadow of his predecessors. Lookman's words were bitter, but they reflected a brutal reality. Ronaldo's level is a milestone every young player craves, but almost no one can touch. It was an unfair fight, a system of steel versus a spirit of iron. Simeone conquered peaks, but he never crossed the mountain named Cristiano Ronaldo. To the Atletico faithful, Ronaldo is an eternal nightmare, a factor that makes the perfect preparation meaningless. In football, some are born to play in a system, others are born to shatter it. He turned defensive records into dust and the strongest fortresses into victims. Simeone's European legacy is brilliant, but it's missing the crown jewel, and number 7 stole it in the heat of battle. Atletico remembers him with a mix of respect and terror. They remember being drowned by hat tricks, standing inches from glory, only to be dragged down by the same familiar name. One name, one number, one eternal fear. Cristiano Ronaldo, in the eyes of Diego Simeone and his soldiers. As Atletico celebrated their semifinal ticket, Simeone's face remained ice cold. He knows that beating a young, flawed Barcelona was only the start. The obsession with Ronaldo has faded into the past, but the scars remain in the DNA of this club. No system is absolute, and no fortress is invincible if the opponent possesses a titan. Cristiano Ronaldo entered history as the ultimate decoder, the man who smiled in the face of El Cholo's fury. Barcelona fell, Yamal failed, and the world remembers the king who conquered Atletico. That is the power of a legend. Even when he is gone, he remains the measure of greatness. Smash that like button if this hit different, subscribe to Ball Pulse, and hit the bell so you never miss what's coming next.